of Neo, you know what I mean? Where you got this kid Michael is on his computer at night, just the same way that Neo was, looking for answers.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that, almost like mirroring him.
Yeah, like he's on the search for answers, or he was like in the dark web, or a little hacker, you know what I mean? And the agents come for him because of it, and Neo knows that he's in danger and calls him in class, and he's not able to pick up because the teacher's a hard ass. And then Michael turns off his phone completely, and it still rings, and and everybody turns back around. Dude, the tension, you could drop a needle in that shit. It's amazing.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then he answers the phone. Michael answers the phone while in the classroom, and Neo's like, you got to get out of there. They know that and so he jumps out of one of the little windows, running down the hallway, and we see the agents after him, and he grabs his board from his locker and just starts shredding down the hallways.
Yeah.
Oh,
so cool.
It's awesome. And then he ends up on the roof, and he doesn't know what to do at that point, and he takes a kind of leap of faith, and then we're led to think that he's passed away, and then we've come to find out that he's woken up. He's now in the real world, so to speak. And he opens his eyes, and he's in front of was it Trinity and Neo, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's man, I just think that's so cool. Like I said, just to have them, Neo go over that one little line in the movie, and then to expand that. I don't know, it blows my mind that they have the thought process to go back and do that, which it just makes the movies that much better too, because then you're like, oh, that's the kid who took himself out of the Matrix. It makes that it makes it a little more better, kind of like an Easter egg. I mean, if you haven't seen these, it's like an Easter egg that only you know about, or a few select people who have seen these shorts know about, and it holds the movie to a little higher standard, or puts it up on a pedestal a little bit more.
Or even just the fact that they got Carrie-Anne Moss and Keanu to do those little, sound bites. Because it's like,
I know, that's so crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It gave me goosebumps just to hear, like, oh shit, that's really Keanu right there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it really is.
Oh man.
With the score in some of these parts, was it the same guy who did the films? Or did they just recycle, from the movies?
As far as I know, Dan Davis did a score for the ANIMATRIX as well. So.
Okay. Yeah, I really enjoyed that it was on the same, same spectrum of as the other ones.
You have to, because that's part of the tone.
It would feel totally different if it wasn't.
So our next one, I think, it's a program directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri, who is known for Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust. This short follows Sis in feudal Japan as she is tested by an old friend in Duo, who seems to have betrayed the humans and constantly tries to recruit her. After refusing, the two end up in a battle to the death. After Sis wakes up from what we find out to be a simulation program, it becomes clear the scenario was a test of her loyalty, something that can be taken as a callback to the very first Matrix again.
Yeah. I was just going to bring that up. Yeah, the same with basically in the same line as Cypher.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I was definitely getting those vibes, and then towards the end, I was like, oh damn, that's it. But then she wakes up from the simulation, she's all pissed off. But
she socks the dude.
Yeah, that's a brilliant simulation. I mean, just to test, I mean, of course, that makes sense to have that to test your I'm trying to think of the word, like not companions, but your crew, to make sure they're not going to flip on you.
Yeah.
And I want to say that I don't think Morpheus had that simulation on his ship.
Apparently not, right?
No, because I think that would have spoiled Cypher's plans for sure.
Remember when Cypher, man, I remember, I still hate him, the character, when he's like sitting with Agent Smith and he's like, I don't want to remember anything.
I don't want to remember nothing. You get it? Nothing.
That little weaselly fuck.
Eating that steak.
He's like, I don't even care that this is just my brain telling me that this is delicious, or whatever.
Yeah. He's like, amazing. Oh, man. Fucking asshole. But that's a testament to his acting, man. I mean, that guy said, he played that role perfectly.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah. Somebody's doing their job when they can make you hate them, you know?
Definitely, yeah. That douchey, that like mustache with the super long,
the goatee,
like like it was like the one line goatee though, from the soul patch that went down to the chin.
Oh yeah,
in one line. Oh man.
Going back to program.
Yes.
The oh man, this one is beautiful, even though it doesn't touch on very much. Mm-hmm. Because the whole short is basically not real, but it is so gorgeous, and how do you say it? It's I don't know, it's maybe one of the best, like one of the top, like as far as animation, like just talking about the animation style. Mm-hmm. It's one of the more authentic, like straight up anime, like retro anime features, you know what I mean? It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me a little bit of oh man, I can't think of the anime that I've seen, but yeah, no, it definitely is visually, I think like the tone and the colors that they use, especially when they're in the simulation and I don't know, like I'm just looking at the images right now just to go over it, but I love the way they use like the blood red.
Yeah, and then the fact. Go ahead.
No, just say how they use it to pop everything. I don't know, the artist who did that has a great eye. Visually has a great eye.
And then, of course, it's the only one to really go diving into the past, where you start in feudal Japan, and you're kind of like, what? Like, where does this fit in? Like, what are we doing here, you know?
Right.
So it's like you're kind of confused for a while, and then you start to understand, like, oh, maybe this isn't real. But I think that's what I mean, is that it's very, like, Kurosawa in that way. Just, like, going back to, like, the kind of like ancient Japanese style that really just pops. And then of course there's tons of action, because Duo and Sis are just going back and forth, and she's saying no, and he's getting like more and more aggressive with her, and oh god, such a great little chase sequence for sure.
Yeah. Would you say this is one of the shorter ones?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's any shorter than because the final flight of the OSIRIS is pretty short to me.
Yeah.
But this one feels like probably under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe. It flies by. I don't know if it's just because it's so good, but it's like over before you know it. Another one that it would have been awesome to continue with that character, even though she was pulled out, to keep it going, and then it just kind of it just ends, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the her like pilot or something is like, well, besides that last part when she punches him, like, she did great.
Yeah. Oh man, I would have been pissed off too.
Yeah, because she was definitely under like a crazy amount of stress, because she thought that she had just like killed her friend of what seemed like somebody that she was hugely attached to, right?
Yeah.
All right, jumping on to the next one, World Record, which was also directed by Yoshiaki Kawajiri. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Forgive me. This film tells the story of Dan Davis, a track athlete set on breaking his own record, but in doing so, he actually unplugs from the Matrix, seeing the real world before being violently pushed back into his body mid-race, which causes him to take a massive tumble, crippling him forever. We see Dan in a wheelchair as he whispers free and attempts to get up before falling to the ground. This one is really good. It's probably the most different out of everything, and again, there's not very much substance here.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that he was able to, because he was this kind of powerhouse athlete, again, going back to the kid's story, it was similar to that one in the way that he was able to use his own willpower, his strength, to wake up in his pod, and actually, for even if it was just a millisecond, to see where he was really at. And then, of course, the agents are keeping tabs on him, and so when he wakes up in the real world, it's very short-lived, and unfortunately for him, because he eats shit so bad.
Oh yeah, but the crazy part that he was able to, again, his willpower was so at a higher level than most, I would say, that he was able to push past his, basically, I think it was like his not his hamstring, but his quad, like, rupturing.
Yeah.
And keep on going, because it's not, in this, it's not real. So his mind being strong enough to push himself to know that, or to somehow know that it's not real, or the pain is not there. There is no spoon, basically, is it's just another version of that, I would say, and he's able to push past that. And then I think it's really cool that he gets to almost unhook himself, like the other kid, but he only gets, it's like only like 1 second or something, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and then he gets reattached, and then I don't know. I like the artwork in this one because it was really So the one we just talked about and this one was the same artist?
The same director.
Okay. I liked the art in this one because it was just so much, like, it was different than the other ones. Really weird and like almost kind of like abstract, but everything's more.
It's almost like freeform, like flow. Everything's flowing, and it's
right.
Like...
Yeah. Yeah. I like the ending part. How you said he was kind of like freedom or free. I'm free basically because he, at least I took it as he somehow knew or remembered that he's kind of in a simulation.
Yeah, because there's an agent behind him, and he's trying to get up, and the agent gets all pissed off, and he's like, "Sit back down."
Yeah.
And he's paying no attention, and he tries to get up and walk again, and then he kind of falls to the ground, and the story ends. But Again,